Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for joining me today. My name is Diana Turner, and I'll be presenting a PowerPoint for parents here at our End SELPA regarding distance learning. Right now, I'm going to share my screen with you, and it is the PowerPoint, so we'll go ahead and get started. The title of the PowerPoint is Parent Tips for Distance Learning. Again, on behalf of End SELPA, I thank you for joining me, and I just want you to know that we at SELPA are here to support parents with students with unique needs, and if you need to contact us, please feel free to call our End SELPA, or at the end of this PowerPoint, I did provide my email. Again, our mission at End SELPA is to collaborate with parents and with school districts and the community to make sure that our students with special needs are getting appropriate services and support in education. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. As we know, this is a time of change. Change can be overwhelming at times, can be stressful, and our children are very aware that things have changed in their education. So let's work together. We want you to know you're not alone. We at SELPA are here for you, to support you, and to guide you through this time of distance learning with you and your child. To validate sometimes what we feel like we're going through, which are definitely stressful circumstances, research does support that our parents with unique students do have more stress and do experience it at different levels and in different domains, such as finances, physical stress, social stress. Our students, our parents with special needs do experience different stressors that other people might not understand or relate to. Let's look at tip number 1. During this time of change, we just want to remind you to be kind to yourself. Everyone is learning and adapting to this new system of distance learning, and it can be very stressful, and for us very conscientious parents that want to do our best for our child, you know, it can be very stressful, and sometimes we can be hard on ourselves. So just reminding you, parents, to be kind to yourself during this time of change. Tip number 2, just to remember that our children feel the jitters, they feel the stress around us, so let your children feel your kindness. So you know how your children respond to physical input. If that will help them to feel more calm and love and safe, that's an option. Social stories do help to explain what's going on, and some of our students can appreciate a social story that explains that things are different regarding school and how we go to school. Tip number 3 is to get organized. So as parents, knowing what's coming when, so such as charting virtual meeting times with your child's teacher, charting the teacher's office hours, having things written down does help. Also creating a workspace, an organized workspace for your child during school time, so they can know this is the designated area, and when we come to this area at this time, that this is school time. Also trying to organize your to-dos, such as consistency with dinner time, washing, grocery shopping. It just helps to create a predictable environment for your student, and also helps to keep things organized in this new season for you parents. Tip number 4, create a routine for you and your child. So similar to tip number 3 in terms of getting organized, but just again, that predictability, knowing what comes next, knowing what day it is and what activities will be going on in that day, and just asking ourselves as parents, what can we control in this environment at this time? As we know, there's a lot of things we can't control right now, but what can we control to help our children feel safe, consistent, predictable, and just to know that there is a routine. Tip number 5, visual schedules create consistency. So just the recommendation to create a visual schedule for your student, whether it's written out in words, pictures, just a schedule of what is to come next on what days, just to remind you to put in break times if needed. Meeting our children where they're at is important, especially during this time of adjustment. So if they're struggling to attend for a long time, perhaps you need to adjust your schedule and shorten the work time intervals. And then also maybe you need to add in more break time, and just, if possible, or if it does benefit your child, making those those breaks movement breaks, and helping your child to get some input that way. And just also friendly reminder that it does create consistency and predictability for your children. Tip number 6 is creating a to-do list. So again, your child's recommended visual schedule is for your child. The to-do list is kind of for you in terms of what you need to do for that day to help keep things organized, as things can become overwhelming. Perhaps the service provider will be working with your child on Monday and you need to ask a question. So you would write down Monday's to-do list would be ask speech therapist a question. Just reminders to help you stay on track. Tip number 7 is to review your child's current IEP. Perhaps by doing that, you could create fun ways to work on IEP goals, using movement, sound, hands-on activities. You could ask your teacher for ideas. Also, it will help to confirm that your child's IEP goals are being addressed during distance learning time with his or her teacher. Tip number 8 is to stay informed when you can. So there's so many amazing distance learning resources out there, a lot of updates regarding special education. So you definitely want to stay up to date, but do not overwhelm yourself. Don't feel like you have to use all of the resources at once. You could try something. If it doesn't work out and it's not something compatible with your child, you can try another resource, but just don't get overwhelmed. Tip number 9, attending online events or things of interest for your child. Again, making learning fun, this new idea of being at home, working virtually at times. So is perhaps taking an online chess class, YouTube video on how to cook, watching Sesame Street, doing a video chat with friends or classmates, so that our child is aware of all the things that they can access on the computer. And again, just a quick side note, I forgot to share one of the previous slides. Not everything needs to be done virtually. So distance learning does not mean solely working from the computer. It's remote learning, so it can also be hands-on, manipulatives, things like that address your child's needs and IEP goals. Last tip, ask for help. Just remember that you're not alone and we're all learning how to do this. So to reach out to your child's teacher, maybe reach out to other parents who are also working at home with their children and trying to implement this distance learning schedule and technology and different platforms that are being used to access education. And definitely feel free to reach out to us here at SELPA. We would love to support you and help you. And in that vein, if you feel that there's any ideas or suggestions you have for future trainings or tips for parents related to distance learning, please feel free to email me at diana.turner@sbcss.net. So again, thank you. And we're trying to make these short and sweet so that we do not take up a lot of your time, parents. But just know we're here for you, and we hope that you look forward to more videos coming your way here at End SELPA. Thank you and have a great day.